Currently 2 games down. He needs your cheers, guys. Give it up for first. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, playing oh so well in this series. Can he take the clean sweep? He is the tyrant. Give it up for Jaedong.
All right, let's do a recap. First game, Jaedong does not allow first to take a third for as long as he can. Second game, he goes for a strategy that, again, does not allow his opponent to take a third. In the end, first is the first one attacking and hands up, losing the game as well. We're on Star Station. It can be very hard to take a third on this map. Do you think Jaedong again goes for this sort of thing? Or does he finally try to go for something different, knowing he's 2 games ahead?
He certainly could do.
I think that's very possible that he could do the same, but also, I mean, Jaedong, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who will start goofing around just because he's up 2 maps. Like I said, this means so much to him. I don't think he's going to go into like mute us and be like, well, you know what, I'm up by 2 games, if I lose 1, it's no big deal. No,
exactly.
He wants to end the series here. And first, he's going to have to play a lot better than he did in the previous 2 games if he wants to win here. He's going to be going for the Nexus 16 again, followed by Forge, and 2 drones again being sent down.
Yeah, definitely. And oh god, for first, what a map to have to try and pull it back on. Star Station, a map that Protoss do not enjoy. I'm sure that you don't enjoy it too much as well, Todd, against Zerg. It's not the best of maps.
I mean, it can be difficult, but then again, it's a map with a Protoss overlay, so it's beautiful. And
yeah, you like that bit?
Not every map can be good for a race. It's good to have some maps where it's harder to play on as well. Like it's a challenge, I guess. And first he chose to remove Derelict. Like I said, it was between Star Station and Derelict, and now he has to play on Star Station in that 3rd game here, which is so important for him. Jaedong is going to go for the quick third again, and we should be seeing first confirming it, although he's kind of leaving right now. What is he doing? Just claims the watchtower. Make sure that that 3rd expansion is not at 6, I guess.
Yeah, not too bad here. Jaedong just claimed his 3rd, as you said, and just getting those queens out. Whilst first back at home, I mean, if you're in first position here, you're 2 games down, you're on Star Station, and you have to bring this back. What do you do here for first? Do you try and claim a 3rd, or do you go for some 2-base timing?
It's so hard to pull off on this map, even the 2-base timing. I think he should try to go for a 3rd and go for like a robo build to have as many units as he can. But Jaedong, on this map, something very good that he could do is just go into the Roach, Hydra, Viper composition and just pressure the 3rd. But he can do that without the Vipers as well, and it's going to be so hard for first to force field around the 3rd base. Yeah. So I think he just goes into perfect injects like always in the start, and then he scouts a little bit. Depending on what he sees, then he's going to do something different every time. First, he likes to open Stargate, and Jaedong knows that. We could also be seeing something to try for a counter, a direct counter for this, and there are a lot of things possible in regards to that. Jaedong could drone very hard, he could go for lots of units like he has before. The Zerglings, you know, the many Zerglings that he got in the first game, it was a reaction to the Stargates. He knew that first wouldn't have that many units to secure his 3rd. That's why I'm saying that now, if he goes for a Robo, he's gonna have a lot more units on the ground. But then again, he wouldn't have the Stargate if there is Mutas later.
Alright, well, I would like to see first pull this back, as I said before, as Jaedong now just transfers his queen over to get that production going at the 3rd base, and will ramp up that income in just a little bit. And meanwhile, those Zerglings just poking around at the front, making sure that no super crazy 3rds being taken. This Overlord,
I like how it was like just right above the 3rd base.
Yeah.
Like it was bluffing, dropping creep, even though he's not on lair tech just yet. And first, he goes for a fairly quick +1 in this game. He's still mining 3+3 in his main on the gases. Could be going for if he throws down a few gateways now, and he has a probe in position in his main, by the way, like in a corner, just above his mineral line. This is a bit weird. He might throw down some gateways and go for a 4th gate pressure. Actually, no, he goes for the 3rd base. Okay, so why is this probe there then? Is that a mistake?
Sure. Maybe it's a little bit of a mistake. We'll see what he wants to do with that in just a second.
The Overlord saw the probe for like a second.
Roach Warren goes down a little bit early here for Jaedong in comparison to where his layer was, so maybe he wants to pressure this 3rd.
Yes, possibly. Actually, it feels more like a defensive Roach Warren at this point, and Jaedong hasn't spotted the 3rd. This is a big deal. Jaedong hasn't done a single scouting mistake so far in this series until now. This is the first time. He's trying really hard to send another Overlord and spot whether or not there is a Stargate. if he misreads this and I mean, if he gets some units now, just a very few, and doesn't do any damage on the third, it will be pretty bad for Jaedong. But he's not making any units just yet. He's going to be getting Zergling speed. He's got a few Zerglings out on the map, but with that nice wall on the third base, Jaedong's not going to be able to do anything to this third base. And he's running up quite hard, which is one of the best things that he can do right now.
Yeah, it's the alternate response, right? Either you pressure that third base or you play super greedy yourself. He's getting a few roaches just to make sure that he doesn't get hit by anything too crazy. And the macro hatch is going down at the natural as well here for Jaedong. So if he starts getting a lot of overlords here, maybe he wants to pressure, but with Clear Reconstitution and no +1 being mixed in just yet, I think it would be light pressure, if anything.
Yeah, he's making the evolution chamber, so he's not committing to unupgraded units. And first, he's warping in sentries, and it's natural. For now on his third base, he's just gonna have the one cannon and the two gateways with the pylon. I think he has to go for a robo from there. That would be the only logical move with this.
Yeah.
Could be going for a Twilight Council a little bit earlier, I guess, as well, to go for the +2. He's not even upgrading the +1 armor right now. I mean, this build doesn't feel very crisp. It doesn't feel great by first, I have to say, compared to his usual games. And now he finally throws down the Twilight Council and starts the +1 armor.
Do you feel first's a little bit on tilt after the first two games, or?
Possibly. I mean, it's very, very hard to tell. From his play right now, I mean, it just feels like in general, he hasn't been feeling comfortable playing against Jaedong. But Jaedong is causing that. First, he wasn't thrown off his game by himself. And he first just saw the Spire. But I mean, you don't have to make mutas or all corruptors. Exactly. Like a Spire could not particularly mean anything at all. But Jaedong not getting a Hydra is den. Do you think here he's committing to mutas? He's starting to save up quite some gas right now.
Hey, maybe he will do here. I mean, it's not too bad an option on this map where you can try and exploit your opponent, but first at the same time has got Blink on the way, so that will be a bit of a precautionary measure initially.
And first, he's not been cutting probes. He's got 69 against 70 drones, so he's actually doing very well on walkers. He's moving out right now, and I feel like this is supposedly an army only there for poking, not for doing damage. Yeah. But look at this sentry count and how much energy they have. He could actually do some damage with this if Jaedong's not careful. So Jaedong is gonna start making lots of roaches. He needs a very nice flank.
Well, he has 20 roaches down right now. He's adding on an extra 10, so this could work out quite nicely. Good force fields continue to seal those roaches in, but at the same time, wasting all of those force fields for a frontal assault, I don't think it's going to go too well.
He's going to have to recall very quickly here, or he's going to lose lots of sentries.
Leave. Oh, those sentries, they're so important, and there he does get out there. Phew.
How many sentries just died? Every single one of them are very, very important.
Yeah, so important. If you want to hold this location especially, absolutely vital. +1 weapon starts for those Mutalisks if he wants to go for them.
And 22 Zerglings extra. Jaedong right now, his army supply is 85 against the 48 off first. And does he have a photon overcharge? He just has one. Jaedong's gonna attack the natural. I think if the photon overcharge is used, he's gonna go into the third. And first needs great force field against this. The forge dies.
Oh, a good snipe out of that forge, really limiting the upgrades here. But at the same time, the sentries, they have no energy. So many roaches push on forwards. I don't know if First can actually hold this off. He needs to know. He needs to keep his hopes alive here as Jaedong kills sentry after stalker after sentry. And the Lings now flood in as well. There's no zealots to tank them.
Yeah, I mean, he has Blink, but he lost all of his sentries here. That was very, very important. It wasn't supposed to happen. The time warp went down too late, I feel. And the force fields were missed again. There was so many holes in those force fields, and the roaches got through. They traded very nicely against those stalkers, even though they had Blink and those sentries. And behind this Jaedong, he's getting some corruptors now. As well as Zerg melee attacks level 1, he's getting 26 Zerglings extra. He's saturated on force bases, and he's taking a 5th. If he wants from there, he can go into very heavy... Look at his gas!
Exactly.
Look at his gas. What do you think is coming?
Exactly. Jaedong here, this was his plan all along. He knew that if he can just buy some time with these very low-tier units, very inexpensive units, then eventually he can get up to the position that he wants, which is 20 Mutalisks once they start coming along. He's going to go for 16. We're going to rock it up very quickly here. Yeah. And now first, where is Stargates?
Look at the work done by Jaedong. He's claimed the left watchtower with some roaches. First went there, now he's pulled back, and now he's claiming the top watchtower. First, he doesn't know what he's up against. He saw lots of roaches and Zerglings. Now he sees some Corruptor. This is a trick. This is not a mistake. Jaedong meant to show these Corruptors. He wants his opponent to believe he's going into something wild, like roaches, maybe hydras and corruptors.
Exactly.
But there is going to be a big surprise in store for him as the Mutas will fly into the main.
Oh, the 2 Robos going down for first. Exactly not what he wanted here. This could be catastrophic for first if he gets caught off guard. A few Zealots too off the right-hand side. Chrono Boost at +2 needs the aero break. Oh, but the Mutas gonna go for the engagement with the Zerglings wrapping around this army. So much firepower here for Jaedong as he looks to kill him off. He recalls. He knows he's in a lot of trouble, but he's not far away from the straight engagement as Jaedong constantly pursues this down with the force fields going down as well. So much damage once again. No energy for a photon overcharge. First's hopes could die here. He's going to get off the Forge as well. Very, very nicely done here by Jaedong.
Yeah, I think first he's going to barely hold, but he lost so much here. And Jaedong, he's on full Muta switch. He's getting only Mutas right now. He's getting the Zerg Flyer attacks level 2. He's still getting his upgrades for Zerglings and possibly Ultralisks later. Although when you go into Mutas like this, you just go up to 10 gases and you get only Mutas, and then you basically win from there.
Todd, he doesn't have Stargates. He doesn't even have a Templar Archives if he was trying to hold this off with Storm. So everything that First is doing right now is not tuned to this defense.
First's only chance right now is to keep on building his Stalker counts up to 40 or 50 and then do a Phoenix transition. That's his only chance. If he tries anything else, if he moves out, he will not win this game. Jaedong is just going to base trade and right out kill him, eliminate him, make some spines at home and just hold.
I don't know what First can do, and we're going to have to see something, an absolute miracle here. No force fields even go down. Blinks out of the fight, and now all the sentries end up dying off as well. The Zerglings and Mutalisks trying to combat. There's still a lot of Stalkers though. Will he be able to bring these Mutalisks down? +2 weapons not done for them just yet though, so he has to micro back as best as he can do. The Stalkers trying to blink back, trying to be defensive, but the army supplies still very heavily in favor here of Jaedong. He'll pull back for now and come back for another fight later.
You know why Jaedong did that? He was maxed out. He's on 5 bases. All of them are saturated. So if you're maxed out, you know your opponent is not maxed out yet. You don't have to wait for him to max out, especially if you have Jaedong's economy. Look at the income right now. Jaedong is getting so much gas, more than 1,000. He's got 82 drones, well saturated. And
Nice blink
careful,
there.
Though.
Killing off a few of the Mutalisks. They do get some Stalkers in the process though. Army supply still 107 to 76. And First, if he can get that 4th base up, won't be too bad, but I don't know how Jaedong's going to let him do that. I don't think he will let him.
+2 is about to finish, and Jaedong, he goes for centrifugal hooks. So he might go for lots of banelings and basically keep on endlessly busting his opponent with Mutas and banelings on the ground in support. There is so few sentries left on the ground for First. He's had to remake his mothership core as well. He doesn't have a photon overcharge yet. Jaedong, he can just harass here and go for huge busts all the time, basically. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes the 6th base and he might get a kill on that Nexus.
Those Zerglings doing a good job at that 4th base, but still a blink forwards, tries to catch some of those Mutalisks. The Zerglings now going to town on those Zealots. They don't really have that many armor upgrades, and he just starts his +2 now. Very important.
He's morphing the banelings, and First doesn't have the info. He's moving quite far out with his Stalkers. He has to be careful. The banelings are finished morphing now.
Yeah, a lot of upgrades going here for First, even as the Mutalisks do engage. This could be good for First. He's getting a lot of those kills. He has to micro back though. Those banelings, they put a little bit of a timer on this. He blinks into the banelings. Oh God! Oh, a lot of those banelings connect First with a misclick, I have to say. And the centrifugal's chasing them down as well. Probes off. They die off as well. Jaedong takes 100 supply lead.
Yeah, and behind this, he's got a swarm of Zerglings heading in there. I think First, he's in a lot of trouble right now. How can he hold this? Look at the supply.
Even Archons can't save you at this point. First army supplies 105 to 24. Jaedong with the victory march, making more and more units, kills off the 4th. And now Jaedong, again with 100 supply advantage, transitioning on. He feels so comfortable right now.
That misclick, man, with the blink. It's a game-losing mistake, and Jaedong is gonna go for a final assault, I believe, here, as he's morphing a lot of banelings right now. 15 in total. He's getting carapace level 1 for his flying units. He's getting a 6 base underway as well. In the meantime, he's been creep threading as well. Jaedong is doing everything right in this series. He's gonna go for a final attack, I think.
Here come the banelings trying to connect with anything that they can do. Good force fields, separate them off, but at the same time, 39 Mutalisks swing into the fray as well. Those force fields are going to dissipate very, very soon, and now he's down to only 5 Stalkers left. They plummet